Episode 1 of Every Year After starts with Percy Fraser giving a speech at her best friend Chantel Thompson's engagement party. She talks about how difficult it is to find true love, thinking back on her relationship with Sam Florek, and reminds Chantel and her fiancé Drew to hold on to each other. Later that night, Percy leaves the party to hook up with Drew's half-brother Jake when she receives a call from her childhood friend and Sam's brother Charlie Florek. Charlie tells Percy that his mother Sue has passed away after suffering from a terminal illness. Percy is shocked and breaks down, regretting not keeping in touch with Sue, who was like a mother figure to her. Charlie tells Percy that Sue would want her to attend the memorial in Barry's Bay. The next morning, Percy discusses the call with Chantel, who's worried about her friend. She asks Percy to attend the memorial, but reminds her of the last 10 years she spent trying to get over Sam. Percy tells Chantel that she spent most of the last decade regretting her actions. Drew asks Chantel to drive Percy to Barry's Bay so she can be there for her best friend. Now on the way, Percy remembers the summer of 2011 when she first met her neighbours Charlie and Sam Florek. She recalls Charlie introducing himself and Sam before inviting her to spend more time with him. Now overwhelmed by the thought of seeing the Florek brothers again, she walks to the lake while Chantel checks their hotel reservation. Along the way, Percy spots 2 chairs and remembers spending time with Sue. She then sees Sam standing on the pier and runs away before he notices her. Now flashback to 2011 shows Percy and Sam getting to know each other. They talk about Percy's friend Delilah, with whom she's fighting. Sam mentions the tavern, the restaurant owned by Sue, and invites Percy over. The two end up on a horror movie binge as they grow closer together. Now over the course of the summer, Percy spends more time with the Florek brothers. Back in the present, Sam and Charlie argue over the fact that Sam spent the last 6 months caring for Sue. Sam blames Charlie for being absent from their mother's life and storms out. Percy runs into Delilah, who reveals that she is in Barry's Bay with her husband Whit and owns a vacation house there. Charlie arrives and greets Percy, but there is awkwardness between them. Chantel reunites with Percy and takes her to their hotel, which turns out to actually be a motel. Percy greets Sam's childhood friend Geordie, who's running the place, but he pretends not to recognise her. Chantel argues with Geordie over a booking error and complains when he asks her to share a room with Percy. In their room, Chantel admits that she feels overwhelmed by how perfect Drew and his life seems to be. She convinces Percy to go on a run with her, during which Percy hides when she sees Sam approaching. She later returns to her parents' house and notices a demolition sign on the property. Now overcome with emotion, she suffers a panic attack and goes into the lake to calm herself down. When she starts drowning, Charlie saves her and checks on the girl. Once calmer, Percy admits that Barry's Bay overwhelms her and she's still trying to run from her past mistakes. Now at the tavern, Geordie tells Sam that Percy is back in town. Upset that Charlie invited her to the memorial, Sam confronts his brother and shoves him into the lake as their argument escalates. Sam tells Charlie that Percy is not only his ex-girlfriend, but also his best friend and part of their family. Now flashback shows Sue treating Sam and Percy to a meal, and afterwards they wash dishes together while Sam talks about his late father and remembers him fondly. Percy tells Sam that he can always talk to her about him, and she gives him a friendship bracelet, and the two promise never to take it off. Back in the present, Percy looks at the bracelet before putting it back in her bag. She goes to the tavern and reflects on the time she spent there with Sam. Percy sees Sam washing dishes in the kitchen and tries to speak with him, and Sam greets her and comforts her when she breaks into tears. He thanks her for coming, and Percy offers to help with the dishes. Meanwhile, Delilah arrives at the house and asks Charlie whether Sam knows she's buying the tavern. Charlie asks her to give him time to break the news, and at the restaurant there's an awkward tension as Sam and Percy wash dishes together. The episode then ends with Sam's girlfriend arriving as he introduces Taylor to Percy. So Every Year After gets off to a rather intriguing but slow start, and one cannot help but notice how much this show is reminiscent of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Now while much of the show's plot seems similar, and I know the shows are not identical, as Percy does not have romantic feelings for Charlie in the book. However, I'm not sure whether the show's makers are trying to change that up for this serial adaptation, as I did notice some tension between Charlie and Percy in this chapter. Percy's character feels out of place in this episode though, and it is consistent with the flashback scenes too. We can see that Percy is having a hard time trying to fit in at Barry's Bay, and it's interesting how, both in the flashback from 2011 and in the present day, it's Sam who helps her calm down and feel welcome. Now I love the banter between Chantel and Geordie, that's definitely a high point of this first episode, and knowing how their dynamic progresses in a novel, I'm intrigued to see these two get close. As for the fact that Sam is dating Taylor, it will be interesting to see how Percy processes this information after being AWOL from his life for the past decade. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.